Pardon the interruption, but I'm Mike Wilbon, and today is the longest day of the year.
I'm Frank Isola, or as I'm known twice a year, Frank Solstice. That's what Mike calls
we should be, on a golf course. It's the beginning of summer. Those things always coincide. I thought it was the 21st, though.
Mike,
today's the 20th.
Mike, where
and
you are,
tomorrow,
it's always summer.
Shorter?
It's not summer where I am all the time. It's summer where you are all the time.
Summer here, baby.
365.
Cool 113 or so. Welcome to PTI. Tony apparently prefers golf to you, so we're here to do his work for him. Is our great friend from the starting lineup on Sirius XM Radio, Mr. Frank Isola.
Radio, not a podcast. No, not a podcast.
Radio, podcast.
3 hours a day, that's a radio show.
Let's start, Frank, with a result neither of us saw coming. Don't know who did. The Pacers pulled away midway through the second and never looked back, beating the Thunder by 17. Tyrese Halliburton played effectively in 23 minutes, and T.J. McConnell was much more than his backup. Meanwhile, OKC struggled from three early, never found a stroke. Frank, how did this game play out differently than you expected?
Yeah, I'm glad we were both wrong. I thought Indiana wouldn't win, but the one thing, you never underestimate this team. Look at the way they've performed all playoff long. There's a toughness to this team. I was surprised by Oklahoma City's performance. They were up 10-2 early in the first quarter. Next thing you know, they were chasing the game for the final three periods. And you just showed the highlight, the one where Tyrese Halliburton had to steal the no-look pass to Siakam. He gets the dunk, 40 seconds to go. OKC was so rattled, Mike, they started walking the ball up. That's a 2-for-1 situation. SGA ends up shooting with 23 seconds to go. He misses. OKC gets the rebound, but Siakam comes down, ends up hitting a shot at the buzzer the first half. So Oklahoma City, to me, was never in this game at any point. And you mentioned T.J. McConnell. He and Andrew Nembhard combined for 29 points. That seemed bigger than the 30 points that Halliburton and Siakam combined for. The bench help that they got, Obi Toppin with 20 points, unbelievable. And then what happened to Jalen Williams? All we did for 2 days was talk about how great he is.
He went Scottie Pippen.
I mean, Mike, he went from 40 points in Game 5 to a minus 40 he recorded in Game 6. I didn't see that coming. Oklahoma City with a chance to win their first ever title. That was an awful performance.
Frank, I'm not even going to dwell on it. I'm not going to disagree with you necessarily, although I think there's far too much heaping criticism on OKC. OKC got knocked out. They got knocked the hell out in a place. You've been there. You know what it's like in Indianapolis with that crowd going in that building. Look, I'm gonna concentrate on something that has no numbers. This gives me a chance to get on my soapbox. Because numbers can't tell you what a room feels like when Halliburton's in there before the game, saying whatever he's saying privately to his teammates, and he might not have to say anything. His teammates can look at him. You know what that's like. We've been in locker rooms. So everybody wants to tell you about 5, 5, and 5, and he's the 14th player in club history. Get that garbage out of here. Halliburton's the big story because they looked at him and he inspired them. He got out on the floor and he could move no matter how much pain he was in. I don't know if a shot taking one helps or if he had one. I don't care. If he did, I said yesterday, I admire Halliburton. That's what sports is about. Yeah. Not advanced metrics, which can't tell you a damn thing about how a team feels about itself and the guy next to them when they walk on the floor and line it up. That is where the Pacers got the best of OKC. We can go back in history. We'll do it with Willis Reed because that was the storyline then because there were no numbers. People need to put the damn laptops down, their phones down, and look at what happened. Look at how the Pacers knocked OKC out of the ring, knocked them clear out. Don't know what that means going forward, but that's what it was last night.
And, Mike, as you know, Game 7 Sunday night in Oklahoma City. Home teams 15-4 all-time in a Game 7 of the NBA Finals, and the Thunder listed as an 8.5-point favorite. So, Mike, what do you expect to see on Sunday?
I have no idea, and I'm not going to pretend. I'm not going to try to create some scenario that I believe in because I don't know. That's the greatness of last night. Nothing was predictable about that. That's why we watch. Not so I know everybody wants to have a prediction. That's what, shows like this, have to indulge in. And sometimes I tell people, stop predicting and watch the damn game. Just watch the game. I can't wait to see the game, Frank. I don't know. Like, what can Halliburton give them? Can he inspire them? Is there something that's going to inspire Oklahoma City? What are they going to draw from in their building? Is it going to be nervous in there? Or is it going to be, raucous and people still figuring, hey, we are going to win the first championship in this city's franchise history, although it's be the second one because the Sonics, where they were previously won. I don't know. Can Siakam play like that again? What do the Pacers have left in them?
Yeah.
Or like Edmonton in that series where they came back from 3-0 down to win an impossible game, did Indiana leave it all at home? Or is this more like the movie Hoosiers? It kind of reminds me of that, but I'm not going to go there with OKC. I loved SGA's demeanor after the game. He said, we stunk.
Yeah.
And he claimed it. He owned it. He was the adult in that room last night. How does that translate? I don't want to predict the game. I want to watch the game.
All right, let me give you a couple of numbers. OKC during the regular season, 35-6 at home. That's a dominant record. Playoffs, 10-2. The two losses, Mike, they were up 15 against Denver in that game one in the fourth quarter, lost the game. Then they were up 11 late in the fourth quarter of game one, Indiana, and lost. So even in the games that they lost, they had double-digit leads. So those are games that they shouldn't have lost. The last road team to win a Game 7 in the finals, that's the LeBron team back in 2016. LeBron that night had a triple-double. So LeBron, an all-world player, has a performance like that. Can Siakam, could Tyrese Halliburton have a breakout game? Absolutely. But the beauty of Indiana, they're a difficult team to match up against or to game plan against because anyone can do it. How about this? They're the only team in NBA history to have 8 players score at least 200 points, total points, in the playoff during the postseason. So different guys do it. We mentioned Obi Toppin with 20, what T.J. McConnell has done, Andrew Nembhard. But if I'm Oklahoma City, Mike, and this is the thing, you go back to 2016, that same year that Cleveland beat Golden State. That Oklahoma City team was up 3-1 on the Golden State Warriors in the conference finals and ended up losing. That's the worst loss in franchise history when they lost that series. Guess what's going to replace it if they lose on Sunday? Because this isn't a 73-win Golden State Warrior team. It's a very good 50-win Indiana Pacer team, but Oklahoma City would have had 2 chances. Ton of pressure on them on Sunday at home.
Yeah, but this is where the best player theory comes in.
Yeah.
If you got the best player, and I think we're going to agree the best player is, the MVP, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. It's his time.
Yeah.
It's his stage. Let's see what's up.
You're right.
Happy 29th birthday, Sam Bennett. The Panthers' surly star just won the Conn Smythe Trophy to go along with the team Stanley Cup, but his future is still in question as he's due to become a free agent. But last night at a Cup celebration in Miami, Bennett borrowed from the Wolf of Wall Street and told Panthers fans, "I ain't bleeping leaving." Behind him, the screen read, 8 more years. Despite the optimism, Sportsnet reports that no extension has been reached, not yet.
I mean, he's in the prime of his career, Mike. He scored 15 goals in the playoffs, 5 in the Stanley Cup Finals. I'm bringing him back. I think he'll be back with Florida as they go for 3.
Got to do whatever you need to bring him back.
Yep.
Happy anniversary tomorrow to the 2018 NBA draft class. Around this day, 7 years ago, a series of players entered the league that shaped this season. Luka went 3rd to the Hawks, who traded him to the Mavs for the 5th pick, Trae Young. At number 11, the Hornets took Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Number 11, Frank, who they later traded to the Clippers, who eventually traded him to the Thunder, where he just won the MVP. And early in the second round, the Mavericks selected Jalen Brunson, who later left, of course, to the Knicks. Other big names, Jaren Jackson, Mikal Bridges, Michael Porter Jr. If we redrafted today, would first pick DeAndre Ayton and second pick Marvin Bagley Jr. even make the top 10?
Maybe not. And based on this year, you'd probably go SGA, Luka, Jalen Brunson, 1, 2, 3. 5 of those top 14 picks have been to an NBA Finals. Michael Porter Jr., of course, won it with the Denver Nuggets.
Yeah, and Ayton, he wouldn't be in the top 10, but he did get to the NBA Finals.
That's right.
Happy trails to Jonathan Toews' absence. While it won't be official until July 1, the longtime Blackhawks captain is reportedly returning to the NHL with his hometown Winnipeg Jets. 37-year-old Toews sat out the last 2 seasons as he battled the effects of long COVID. He and Patrick Kane led my Blackhawks to 3 Stanley Cups, and he won 2 Olympic gold medals with Canada. Toews was also named one of the top 100 players in the first 100 years of the NHL. I'll miss him on my Blackhawks, Frank, but we'll continue to root for him as a Jet.
It'd be a pretty cool story if he wins one with Winnipeg. The President's Trophy winners this year, knocked out in the second round by Dallas. Would you be okay if they won it? Winnipeg? I know you root for Edmonton. Winnipeg?
I would be okay if they won it. It would be a good story. You're right about that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. He and Kane, what a tag team.
Yep.
Man, I'm longing for those days now. All right, let's move to the big finish. Jonquel Jones of the Liberty re-injured her ankle last night in the loss to the Mercury. Is that significant?
It is. You know, everyone talks about Brianna Stewart, Sabrina Ionescu, Jonquel Jones is a big-time player. The Stanley Cup ratings were below those of the Four Nations face-off. Are you surprised?
Florida, Edmonton, June, the month of June, maybe I'm not that surprised. The 4 Cups was in February when you play hockey. Yahoo reports that the University of Wisconsin is suing the University of Miami for poaching a player under contract in college. Frank, your thoughts?
Gentlemen, start your attorneys. Mike, this is the first, not going to be the last with all this NIL stuff and transfer portal. It's ridiculous. All right, the Red Sox and the Giants, for the first time since Sir Rafael Devers was traded. What do you expect?
Not much. Fans of the Bay Area don't care about that. It's too bad this isn't in Fenway. Last one, the Mets have lost 6 straight. How are they going to do in that battle for first place in the division with the Phils over the next 3?
Phillies have won 7 and 8. Both teams tied at 45 and 30. That's going to be a good series. We're out of time. Thanks for watching. I'm Frank Isola.
And I'm Mike Wilbon. Have a great weekend, knuckleheads. Frank, you know what we got coming up Sunday night?
Game 7.
Here, Sports Center.
There's so many similarities to this team between those Miami teams that I played with that have gotten to the finals. I'm sticking with the underdogs, and I'm going with Indiana with this one.
Okay. By the way, the Pacers love that idea of being in the underdog. Home teams, though, are 15-4 in Game 7 of the NBA Finals. More from Udonis ahead. For now, let's go to Mike and Frank for PTI's bonus topic.
Okay, Frank, if the Pacers win Game 7, where would the series upset rank across all sports?
Wow. All sports. Like when I think upset, I'm going to go all the way back to 80. I think USA against Russia in hockey. To me, that's one of the biggest, if not the biggest upset. But in terms of basketball, I think if they were to win, think about the run, Mike. That will mean that they knocked off the 48-win Milwaukee Bucks, the 51-win New York Knicks, the 64-win Cleveland Cavaliers, the 68-win Oklahoma City Thunder, and have to win the last 2 games of the series to do it. That would be saying something. If I'm Oklahoma City, you've had the great home record, 35-6 at home. They're 10-2 of the playoffs. The 2 home playoff games that they lost, they had double-digit leads in the fourth quarter against Denver and against Indiana. It would be I think for the NBA, the biggest in the last, I'd say, 30, 40 years. No question about it.
All right, I hear you on everything you outlined. And by the way, I'm going to confine my comments to pro sports,
all right,
which means I'm not going to mention U.S. hockey. Yes, that was the biggest upset. But professional sports, if we go NBA, there's one series, Frank, you can't forget. The 2004 Pistons beat the Lakers of Shaq and Kobe and Phil Jackson.
Malone was hurt.
And that was it for them.
Yep.
Then Shaq goes to Miami. So that had lasting impact. I'm going to mention some other things real quickly. If we talk about pro football, the 2007 Wild Card Giants beat the 18-0 undefeated Patriots. That's got to be up there. Jets beating the Colts. I'm going all New York on you in Super Bowl III. In 2001, I'm going to stay in New York theme. Arizona, the Diamondbacks, wind up beating the Yankees in a very emotional and dramatic situation. And the 1969 Mets, of course, stunned the Orioles. That's all a little New York heavy for me, but all those things count. And those were giants. I don't think there's anyone in there that would say, oh, wait a minute, that team should have been favored. I'm not mentioning the 2016 Cavaliers. Don't tell me it's that big an upset. I know the Warriors at 173. They got 3 Hall of Famers. If LeBron is the GOAT, if he's the king, and you're playing with Kyrie and Kevin Love, how are you getting upset? Yeah. Did anyone ever say Michael Jordan was upset? Anybody ever say Kobe Bryant was upset? Come on now. Ain't no upset.
Well, remember, too, that Cavalier team did come back from 3-1 down, and they had
did.
to win 2 games in Oakland, including Game 7. That's when
Great
LeBron had
win.
the triple-double.
Great win.
That's an upset. That's
if
an
you're the
upset.
king, you don't upset the
It's a
king.
73-win team.
Huh?
That's an upset. That's an upset.
Couldn't finish it.
That's it. We're
Bulls
done.
are still the best team.
Back to you.